In this video, let's talk about guns as an investment. I mean, let's be realistic. I wish we could all go back in time and say, I want to buy that one because I know in 20, 30 years from now, it's going to be worth a lot of money. That's pretty tough to do. But let's have some fun with this video. We're looking at two Colt Pythons, matching pair, sequential serial numbers that I have in my collection. And what did these cost new in 1977? That's the year these were made. What, $300 each? What do they cost now? Depends on who wants them, right? But I tell you, it's not cheap. Maybe $5,000 each, maybe $10,000 for the pair. That's a big profit. And in this video, we're going to go back in time. We're going to look at some really cool old-time stuff, and then we're going to bring it to modern-day history and look at some stuff that maybe possibly 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, they'll be worth a lot of money. Whether you keep them in pristine condition like these two Colt Pythons and never shot them at all and never touched them and just kept them perfect, or if you use them and just kept them in maybe 97, 98% condition and take care of our guns like we all do, they can still go way, way up in value. I've always said the type of guns I want to purchase is something that I can at least sell in the future for what I paid for it, or hopefully more. And let's talk about this whole idea of buying guns as an investment. Let's go back in time and let's come to modern day. I think you'll enjoy this video. And thank you so much. Welcome to weaponseducation.com. I think this will be interesting. Let's go back in time and look at, you got four rifles right there. They happen to be Winchester Model 1894s, all of them. These are my Uncle Ralph's, and these were all made in the 1950s. At the time, they cost about $100. Today, in this condition, 90, 95%, a little bit better on some of them, over $1,000. One of them is chambered in .32, the other three are .30-30s. And I tell you, this Winchester Model 1894 is one of the most popular hunting rifles of all time, designed by John Browning. And this is just something going back in time saying, gosh, you know, if you would have bought one of these, if you're old enough back then, in 1950, brand new, kept it in pristine condition, never shot it, gosh knows what this thing would be worth. What do you think, Ralph? One never fired. He's right here.
I've seen them advertised up $2,500, $3,000.
Yeah, so here's a good example of four rifles that have been used, and they still went up tenfold from $100 to $1,000. Let's look at something else right now. You're looking at four really special rifles. These are my Uncle Ralph's rifles, and they're all .22 calibers. They're called Remington Nylon 66. Gosh, if you guys know this model, you really know your history, which goes to show that it's really important that when you're at a gun show or anywhere out and about looking at guns and rifles, look at the older ones and see if you can get a good buy. For instance, these .22 calibers, they're all .22 calibers, were developed by Remington between the years of 59 and 89. Now, my Uncle Ralph purchased these in the 60s, right at $60 each. Guess what these cost now, and there's a lot of buyers for them. Now just go on Gunbroker. Remington Nylon 66. Yeah, the one in the back, at least $450. The other's $550. If you happen to find one, what's called Seneca Green, $1,200. So that's something really special going back in time, and you can use these guns. These are used guns with a lot of rounds through them, and long as they're in like 95, 98% condition, you've got something you can hand down to your children and know that they've got something special etched in time that's worth some money. If they wanted to sell them, I like to think of them as an heirloom, but if they want to sell them, at least they can get a really good buck for them, and you didn't waste your money on them, and you enjoyed shooting them throughout your life. So what you're looking at here is the Remington Nylon 66, chambered in 22. They weigh about 4 pounds, and they have a feed system, a tubular feed system of 14 rounds. Pretty trick for the day. Started at the cost of $60, now range from $450 to $1,200. There's something real special right here, and instead of moving on real quick into the more modern day guns, Uncle Ralphie showed me this single action army from 1900. Look at this. Look at this. Of all the handguns I've held in the last few months, this has got to be the most intriguing to me. And this cowboy gun has so much history. What did it cost back then? This .45 Colt. $5, $8, right? The quality of this thing. How did they load it back then? One at a time. 145 long Colt at a time. Uncle Ralphie picked this up about 10 years ago. $1,500. A lot of money. Thought he spent too much. You know what it's worth now? Trying to scoop one of these up for about $2,500 and you're doing a good job. Think of the history of what this went through from 1900 until today, especially in the early 1900s during World War I, and who knows what this gun's been through and the history it's had. This is something that just tingles you when you hold it. It's really special. So when you see an old gun like this, don't just say, well, it's an old gun. Look at it as a possible investment or an heirloom for your family. I want to stay on the old guns one more time because two more times. We got 2 more revolvers we want to show you that really went up in value. So this went from $5 to $2,500. Okay, let's go on to something else right now. And if you're into cowboy guns, please throw in your comments. You gotta love this stuff. Let's look at 2 more older revolvers. These go from the 60s. Colt Detective Specials. I know a lot of you love the 38 Special, and these older Colts, as we know, the quality back then of a Colt is really special. Back then, they cost, what, $75? Guess what they cost now? How much, Ralph? How much?
The one in your hand would be about $675, $700.
About $700. You're looking at $700. Here's 2 of them here that at the time cost less than $100. Right?
Exactly.
Really special guns. Let's now move on to more modern guns finally. And I tell you, I really enjoyed looking at the older stuff. Please throw in your comments. If you're a Colt lover, you gotta love these Colt Detectives. 38 Specials. Oh, gosh. They don't make them like that. I can see the bluing. It reminds me of the remnants of the bluing on the Python. Very similar. Very nice. Let's go on to a more modern day gun right now. This is one gorgeous 1911. My first gun. Colt Delta Elite 10 millimeter. I guess now you know why I'm so enthused with the 10 millimeter round. It goes way back to when I was a child, and I bought this in the mid 80s alongside with a Smith 686 357 Magnum revolver. And let's talk about the value of this Delta Elite. This is just for an example. I paid probably, I guess about $300 for this brand new in the box. around 87 or 8 or so. Now, these cost brand new. They stopped production for a while. Colt did with these, and then the older ones skyrocketed in price. Then they started producing them again in '08, and right now they cost about $1,200 new in box. But to those purists who really love Colt, and on the long run, are they going to want a 2013, 14, 15 Colt Delta Elite, or will they want one from the 80s that has a nickel finish and that has the older Colt quality? Let's just leave it at that. You Colt guys know what I'm talking about. This right now, I would say, I don't know, what is it worth now? Anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500, $3,000, depending on the person who is a purist and an enthusiast who really wants a really nice nickel finished, which you can't buy anymore, Colt Delta Elite. Let's move on to another gun that could possibly go up in value. That is the key question here. I hope you can tell I'm having fun with this video. That is the key question. What gun can we buy that will go up in value? Gosh, I wish we can predict the future. Let's look at one more right now. Check out this revolver. This is a model 310 Night Guard from Smith & Wesson, scandium frame, no longer made, 10 millimeter. I bought this new in box for $900 approximately. You know, right now I can still get my money back, which is huge. Any gun that you can buy and still get your money back for in the future, that's kind of cool because you get to enjoy the gun, have a personal protection. But what will this be worth? Who knows in 20, 30 years from now for my children? Just who knows? Just another example, and throw in your examples of guns that you think we can buy today. That's the million-dollar question. What guns can we buy today that would be worth a lot of money for our children? Let's look at one more. Here we go again right now. Look at this gun. The Smith & Wesson E-Class. That is some eye candy for us. Does that fill up your screen with beauty? That's a 1911 that we can cherish now. And who knows in the future, will Smith make this scandium frame? 1911. Right now it costs about $1,300. It's a pricey gun. But what if Smith stops making it? Who knows what this will be worth in 30, 40 years from now in this same condition? Who knows? That is one gorgeous gun. We're going to look at another one right now. Let's do it. I thought about pulling out a lot of different stuff to finish out the video. I could have pulled out sniper rifles, ARs, AKs, a whole bunch of different stuff. I decided to finish up with this. Who knows what the future holds, like I said, but how about a Desert Eagle, and this one in particular, which I'm so proud of. It is gorgeous. When you hold this in your hand, you will fully respect this gun. 50 AE, very little recoil, but the point is, this is prior to when Car Arms owned Magnum Research. So think, if you are about to buy a Desert Eagle and you're a purist, would you want an original Magnum Research made in Israel, and they know how to make quality guns in Israel, or would you want a modern day Magnum Research through Car Arms, which has a hideous rail across the top, unlike this gun? I think this is a great collector's item. What do you think? This gun right now, brand new, what is it, about $2,000? This one here, I don't know what the cost is. I'm not selling it. But I'll tell you right now, 30, 40, 50 years from now, if someone wants an original Israeli Magnum Research 50 AE Desert Eagle, I'll tell you right now, it's going to be worth a lot of money, I think. So there you go. I really had fun with this video. Please throw in your comments. Let's talk about everything we spoke about. I want to thank my Uncle Ralph for bringing in his arsenal to help us make this video. I want to thank all of you for throwing in your comments. It took a lot of work to produce this video. We're all in this together. Please go to weaponseducation.net, which is the gun forum, and everyone's chatting there back and forth. It's really cool. And .com is the YouTube channel, and we're really having a lot of fun here, and all I can say is please subscribe and thank you. Let's talk about how to make money with guns. I think I'll do a part 2 to this. I had so much fun. Check it out. My name is Tom, my friends, and I really care about all of you. Bye.